Hello everyone, this is Eva here. Today I'm so excited to have Kasey be my guest.
Thank you.
Kasey and I actually worked together and we are still working together as well. Kasey is the head of marketing at DataTrue. She has been in SaaS and tech industry for 15 years. A lot of knowledge in marketing automation, sales, growth marketing. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. Really happy to nerd out on this stuff with you.
Yeah, I'm taking my notes. I got my laptop ready. I'll write down everything. So today we are going to talk about marketing automation and how it can be the bridge connecting between sales and the marketing team. So first of all, I guess my biggest question, or the first question is, what do you see some of the challenge in terms of bringing marketing and the sales team together?
Yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of organizations struggle with. And really making sure that your sales and marketing team are aligned is just so important to making both teams be successful. But I think there can be some kind of competition between each department. Or really the biggest struggle comes in when they don't have the same goals. So when you're working on maybe KPIs that don't align with each other, it can be a really challenging environment.
So how do you see marketing automation can be the bridge to connect these two teams?
Yeah, so I'm super passionate about marketing automation. I'm a giant HubSpot fangirl. Anyone that knows me will say. And I think the best part about using marketing automation that we use at DataTrue and that I've used at other companies is really having the visibility across teams and just being super transparent between what is happening when a lead first comes in and being able to watch that whole top of funnel down until it goes over to sales, and then even when it goes over to customer support. So it's great to be able to monitor as a marketing leader, but also like as a business leader, the quality of leads that you're getting from different sources. So you might have, your Google ads come in and you're able to see, okay, what keywords are turning into engaged contacts that are ready for sales, and what keywords are maybe bringing in people that are higher up in the funnel that need to hang around with marketing and be nurtured a little bit more. And I think as a marketer, being able to differentiate those two groups and making sure that it's the right time to pass leads over for sales. So you're not passing them over too early, you're passing over the right kind of leads, which makes for a better experience for the marketing and sales team, but really a better experience for the customer and for the prospect as well. So they're not, forced to jump on a phone call or a demo when they just, downloaded an infographic or read a blog post.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's kind of like another old topic, like quantity, quality.
Exactly.
Right? In a way, marketing team might be like, our KPI is leads, marketing qualified leads. And it can be different from sales qualified leads.
Yes.
Like, I have 100 leads, here you go. Your job, close it.
Yeah.
Why can't you close it? Off my hands, not my job anymore. Whereas sales team, they're struggling, it's pretty common sales teams sometimes get paid, base plus a commission base.
Right.
Right? And for them, it's really frustrated if they get a lead. It's like, they're not really qualified a year. I only know their name, their email address, maybe the company.
Yeah, exactly.
How can I approach this lead, right? So I think having the right KPI probably can help as well. What are some metrics that you would recommend it?
Yeah, I think the really important thing is to make sure that your sales and marketing leaders, and really like your business leaders, so whether that's like your chief revenue officer or your CEO or whoever's kind of leading the charge, making sure that you're all aligned on what your KPIs can be. It can definitely turn into a bit of a numbers game, like you mentioned with marketing, just trying to get as many email addresses, as many leads as possible, and that's not really in the best interest of the company in the long run. So you want to make sure that you're setting the right kind of KPIs. Some of the things that I've set up for my team at DataTrue, so we track the number of, top of funnel leads, just people that are coming into our system for nurturing. We also do marketing qualified leads. So that way I'm able to figure out, okay, who should kind of stay in our funnel, in our nurture system, and sales qualified leads. So leads that actually get passed over from sales and that the salespeople are able to connect with. So that's an important qualifier as well. And I think having all of those things equally weighted is really important, because getting a lot of leads that stay in the nurture system for marketing, it's a good thing, right? Of course, you want more leads that close right away, but especially when you're dealing with a product that has a longer sales cycle, keeping people just in the loop and keeping them kind of in your ecosystem is certainly a good thing. And then, of course, we always track down to, closed sales and revenue as well. As a marketer, having that transparency throughout the sales and marketing funnel, I'm able to calculate the ROI on things. And then you have things like, Adobe Summit, which we've been doing for years and is a giant investment for us. But being able to calculate the ROI, it is something that we are going to keep doing as long as the numbers keep looking like this. Whereas from an outside perspective, if you don't have that insight into your sales results, you're not going to be able to know if those big investments are really paying off for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I personally have a lot of respect for sales rep. Right? It's hard, it's hard to just get some information about a potential prospect, and then you have to go there and convince them.
Yeah.
Your product may or may not be a good fit, right? So what would you say, is differentiation between sort of at what point you can say, okay, this marketing qualified lead is good enough to pass to the sales team because now it's sales qualified?
Yeah, so being able to work really closely with your sales team is so important. So at DataTrue, JP, who leads our sales team, and I work together really well. And the nice thing is we're able to give each other really solid feedback. One of the programs that I know I've mentioned to you, so we were working on new leads that came from LinkedIn's new lead forms. And I didn't know how they would, what the results would be like, if they'd be more top of funnel, or maybe they're ready for sales. And I mean, we played around with messaging, like you have this set up. But one of the things I said to JP, if these leads are all crap, please tell me. And yeah, so you never know. And just being able to say hey, I'm testing these. I might get a lot of people filling out the form, but if I push them to sales and sales is these people are not qualified, they're expecting something else, or they, just want to read the white paper, that's fine too. But really having that open communication between sales and marketing so that you're able to kind of figure out, okay, you know what, we ran this certain campaign that maybe I thought it was top of funnel. Having your sales rep kind of experiment with a few of the leads from that campaign and then see, what, they might be ready for a sales call. But the other thing too is in marketing automation, and one of the things I've started doing for our executive team is for certain leads every month or for leads that recently closed, going through and writing out their full marketing and sales journey. I think it's really interesting to see, they clicked on a Google ad, they watched a video, then they clicked on another Google ad, they downloaded a white paper, they did a call with JP, they read 2 blog posts. So things that you may think are higher in the funnel, like the blog post, were actually the last thing they did before they, were ready to close. So being able to kind of map out that whole funnel and then set up some qualifiers for your team. So for my sales team, I have quite a few different lists that they can work when they need to go get some more leads. But if somebody has, 3 or 4 marketing activities that they've engaged with, then it goes over to the sales team, not necessarily to take on as a sales qualified lead, but hey, you know what? These people seem like they're pretty hot leads. Why don't you read through the list and see if, they're folks that you want to talk to, or if they should just stay in our nurture program. So having that visibility, not just about what is typically top of funnel, middle, bottom, but really looking at the whole pictures and kind of bringing you back to that 7 touches of marketing before someone's ready to make a purchase, and just, seeing the whole picture is so important.
Yeah, for sure. I think just like you said, having the conversation throughout the whole process.
Exactly.
It's really important because I love your example. Let me know if the leads are crap. It's fine. I'm not gonna hurt. I'm testing something, but it's important, right? Because it's common in marketing to A/B or even ABC test a bunch of things.
Exactly.
At the same time, not everything's gonna be successful or sound well, and it's important to know the feedback, the bottom line. What happened after you passing on the leads. But I think in your company, it's just I know you work really close with JP, the direct sales, so it's a lot easier. But maybe at a bigger company, when you have 50 people.
Yeah.
In one team, and maybe just one division at one location, and then it's really, really hard to get the message across. How could you suggest more enterprise-sized company to work together?
Yeah, I think a lot of it really comes down to tracking, and that's where your marketing automation is going to be key. so that you're able to see, what kind of leads are the sales team engaging with. So is there like a certain source or a certain channel that's working really well for them? But also being able to just kind of qualify things and be able to, when you do those tests and you say, you know what, we're going to have you call people that downloaded the white paper, even though that's typically higher in the funnel. Having people on the sales team that you can that are willing to take those risks for you.
Okay.
And it's great because it can pay off for them, and it gives you a better idea of when leads are ready to go over. But really a lot of tracking, even if you need to go through, I certainly recommend every marketer go back through their leads once in a while and just kind of see all of the ways that they've engaged with you and just kind of sharing a few of those examples. Not necessarily, and I don't expect anyone to have like the same path and the same kind of marketing engagements in the same order, but just being able to have that visibility is really important, whether it's through, automation on reports, or it's just digging through your CRM and spending some time kind of figuring out what is happening with your leads so that you're able to give them over to your sales team.
Mm-hmm. Could you say it's good to have sort of a cross-function project together? Maybe, I don't know, once a week or maybe bi-weekly or monthly, probably bi-weekly or weekly is a bit too much for an enterprise company, but maybe like a monthly-based sales and marketing team have someone from each department get together and then just go through, okay, this is what sales team are currently working on right now. I know sales team do a lot of outbound sometimes as well, and outbound, inbound, it can get like a little bit messed up, Mm-hmm. I already emailed that person, why did you email him again? Why? Right? So kind of have the two teams together to collaborate, review the program,
Yes.
review the project, review what is happening, what is the number, and have kind of like being on the same page.
Exactly. I definitely recommend that, and I've done that in larger organizations before as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that it really comes down to, if there's something that your sales team is working on, or if one of them, maybe has a background in manufacturing and wants to go after manufacturing companies, as a marketing team, you're able to support that. So you can run, Google ads specifically towards that. You can do like some really cool account-based marketing to help out, especially in enterprise sales. I think account-based marketing is a really interesting and really a nice way for marketers to support their sales team with like those targeted campaigns. But I think, having your sales and marketing team meet on a regular basis, sharing information about what's happening. I think like for marketers in general, it's just so important to let the company know what's going on. There is no worse feeling than hearing from a customer, whether you're in sales or support, hearing about a campaign from a customer rather than having that knowledge already. So you want to make sure that you're sharing things across the board, but also getting feedback from your sales team as well. I think it's one of the things. I worked in sales at FreshBooks a while back, but I think it's just so important to kind of understand what's happening on the other side of the table. And it really helps like as a salesperson to give feedback to your marketing team as well and say, these leads don't tend to be qualified, or maybe they're looking for something else that we don't offer. They think we're this. Or even, these leads are great and like I think I can talk to them even earlier. Just kind of like having those communication channels where you're giving feedback, because ideally, the end goal is revenue for everybody, right? So you're all really working towards the same goals, and being able as marketers to use that customer interaction that the sales team has is just so valuable.
For sure. What are going to be some suggestion you would recommend a company who kind of start thinking to implement marketing automation?
Yeah, lots of different ways to get started. I know I mentioned HubSpot earlier, and they're one of the solutions I recommend to a lot of companies that I work with. But really, there's a lot of solid marketing automation programs out there. Like if you're using Salesforce and you use Pardot with it, all kinds of different options. But really, the first thing that you want to do is like in an ideal world, how would your system work? So that's like getting out the whiteboard, and you get leads from these different sources. You get them from Google Ads, you get them from email marketing, you get them from trade shows. And what kind of process do you wish would happen in a dream world? And then you're able to set up your system accordingly. So I make sure that I have, my lead sources set up in HubSpot. I have my different sales reps, whether you're doing like round robin leads or leads based on geography or industry or anything like that. But just make sure that you kind of take the time before you, dive right into things to set up, okay, how do I want this process to work? And there's tons of information out there, videos that you can watch with some tips and tricks as well. Shameless plug, I have one on my website as well if you're just getting started in marketing automation. But a lot of really great information out there. I think the most important thing, like I mentioned, is just map out your ideal process. Yeah. How do you want things to flow from one person, one team to the other? And then you're able to go and build it and make it happen.
Good. Yeah, I think it's good to, instead of just, okay, I want automation, let's just do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Or even today, but instead take a step back, say, okay,
exactly.
This is what I actually really wanted to track. This is very important for the company. How can marketing and sales play a role in the bigger piece? And then kind of start to do things step by step. Because I think sometimes, no, it's great. It's great like when companies like, I want to do marketing automation, right? But like, to be honest, HubSpot is complicated, Salesforce is complicated. If you don't really think what you want, the most important piece, and then you just go diving right away, it's super overwhelming. And what happens is people don't actually use it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's easy to waste a lot of money without kind of taking the time to think about what features you actually need, and what does marketing automation mean to your team and to your customers. Is it really targeted emails and messaging and that kind of thing, or is there something else where you have like call tasks set up for your sales team and all that kind of stuff?
Nice. That was a lot of information.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I really like it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If people want to know more about marketing automation, sales, how they sell to enterprise in general, what would be the best way for them to reach you?
Excellent. So you can reach me. I am everywhere at Kasey Bain, and you can check out my site as well at kaseybain.com.
LinkedIn, Twitter as well?
Yes, yeah, all over the place.
Okay, sure. I will include your social media account at the top. Thank you so much. It was great.
This is awesome. Yeah. Thanks.